everybody, what's going on? Pete Branscombe here, and just on the road here, heading to a job. Let's talk about Q a little bit today, guys. Let's talk about QAnon. QAnon. What is QAnon? What is it? Is it an actual person? Is it a group of people? Is it a network of people? Is it a secret AI that has yet to reveal itself? Is it Elon Musk? Like, who is QAnon? QAnon. Q Anonymous. Remember Anonymous? Remember Anonymous? What was Anonymous originally? Well, you can trace it back to what? They're the whole banker apocalypse there back in, when was that? 2008, when they had all the protests, and that's when the Anonymous first started showing themselves. Well, that was a very left-wing organization, but then somehow over the years, Anonymous kind of flipped its head on capitalism and has kind of gone pro-nationalism, pro-Donald Trump, and pro-America, whereas before it was really looking to bring down America through the banking system, the banking mafiosos, okay? But now Anonymous has evolved itself into QAnon, right? And where does it get its influence from? Guy Fawkes, right? Guy Fawkes and the great gunpowder conspiracy, right? What was he trying to do? Trying to blow up the king, trying to overthrow the monarchy. To what? Replace it with what? What's the goal of the Illuminati? Under Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria. We're going to overthrow all nations, all monarchs, kingdoms, all religion, and replace it with a worldwide Enlightenment dictatorship. 1776. 1776. The Illuminati was born. And also in 1776, the American Revolution began. And what was the start of the American Revolution? The rebellion against the king. Cops up ahead, cops up ahead. Keep your head low when the cops up ahead. It's all good, they're pulling someone else over. Just slide on by. Drive slow, homie. You never know, homie. When the popo got the lights flashing, you don't know, homie. Are they coming for you? Are they coming for juice? We never know, so we'll just drive slow. See him back there? I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see cops, even if I'm not doing anything wrong, I instinctively get the fight or flight, right? I instinctively get the I don't want to be involved with you, okay? Never feel good about coming in confrontation with the cops. Anyways, I've had good confrontations, I've had bad confrontations. But that's for another time. So, where's they at? The American Revolution. What did they do? They were rebelling against the king. They were rebelling against the monarch. Peter, are you saying that you're pro-monarch? Well, you are in fact Canadian, so you never left the monarchy. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I know. You guys get a lot more freedoms than we do. Right? We just basically took the leftovers and said, yeah, sure. If you just leave us alone, we'll let you rule us. Right? Well, you know what? It's kind of what the Bible even says, right? We're all subject to the powers. What happened in the States, right? They overthrew the yoke of the king, and they made their own republic. They made their own nation, okay? And although I don't fault any of the people that were living at the time for their commitments and how that all went down, right? Like, I you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of parts of me that sees that as a freaking awesome thing, right? But look what happened. Sooner or later, the piper is called. Sooner or later, right, it's revealed how much of a republic you guys actually are and how much freedoms you guys actually had, right? Did you ever actually have any of the freedoms? You did starting out, right? You did starting out, but once you guys drafted that Constitution, that thing that you guys think makes you free, that thing that gives you your liberty, well, you signed away all of your freedoms, right? And put it in the hands of men, put it in the hands of legislators. Doesn't matter who, right? Because you're counting on good men ruling your country. Well, it doesn't set up a plan for when bad people start running the country, right? Well, yes, it does. That's why we have the Second Amendment, right? Yeah. No, that's true. And that's gotten you really far, right? Because you see that being eroded every day. And still yet, nobody standing up to take back the country. Okay? Set in place to keep tyrants out. Well, you guys let tyrants in a long time ago. Okay? They never actually left. They just went undercover. But this video isn't about bashing the United States. It's not about bashing the people of the United States. I love Americans, right? I see myself as more, as I look at my country and how our country has been neutered and decapitated, I see myself more as an American than I do as a Canadian, right? As far as having that fighting spirit, right? Our countries weren't that drastically different at one time, right? I mean, everybody lives on the border, right, with each other. Majority of Canada is on the border with the United States, right? But because of American exceptionalism, you've had this rise of Canadian differentiationism, okay? Where Canada likes to do everything the exact opposite of the United States, and we just hate to seem like we're anything like the States, right? We act like that little spoiled brother or just that nerd brother that just wants to be different for the sake of being different and not being called by the name of his brother that everybody knows about, right? And it's like, it's such a stupid thing, right? It's such a stupid feud. But anyways, America, born out of revolution, right? Born out of rebelling against the king. Okay? The Illuminati, what's their whole purpose? Demolish all monarchs, demolish all religion, all forms of government and replace it with a worldwide dictatorship. Well, listen, what has America done but help in the assisting of demolishing governments and kingdoms worldwide? Okay? You guys became the world empire, and so therefore you guys became the ambassadors of the world. Okay? You became the enforcers of the New World Order. You guys helped set into place everything that we know is the New World Order. Along with everybody else. Like, you guys, I'm not scapegoating you guys. But let's face it, you guys run the show. You've got military bases all over the world. You've staged coups all over the world. You've toppled governments and regimes all over the world. You have put your stamp of approval all over the world. And when you put your stamp of rejection on a place, it's not a good time. But now we see your country being looted. We see your country being raped. Your country being pillaged. Your country being turned over, right? And being replaced, right? It's being used to prop up other nations, okay, that are weaker than thee, okay, who don't mind having your help, don't mind receiving the benefits of being friends with America, but when it comes right down to it, they hate America. They backbite America. You might even say that they would like to see it destroyed. And so you find a home in a lot of these different countries for radical regimes that are against America. Communism that's against America. Right? Socialism. We see this. We see Q-Elon is pushing nationalism. Nationalism worldwide. And it's starting to take hold in some countries, but the forces of communism appear to have a further reach, right? They are in the main halls of power, they're in the media, they're in the education system, they're in the medical system, they're everywhere. You know, and like I say, when I was talking about the Enlightenment, when I was talking about the destruction of these different tenets, well, what was the French Revolution? But also an Illuminati plan to overthrow the king, replace the government, replace religion with what? An Enlightenment age, right? A Luciferian order. And from the very inception of America, there has been these secret societies that worked in all these other revolutions, that have worked in all these other countries over the years to bring about change, agents of change. And they're in America right now. And they've got a powerful footing. And then you've got Q-Elon, who is also basically a secret society, an esoteric group that, although they have plenty of initiates, very few people know the insides. What do they say constantly? Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Just like a lot of master masons, a lot of people involved in low-level Freemasonry, they don't really know what's going on. They just do their part, and they think that they're in it for the camaraderie-ship, the business partnerships, right? The benefits. But they're serving a deeper agenda. a more esoteric agenda that you can only find the deeper you go in, the more loyal you become to the movement. Q, you have all of these people that are just cashing in on this movement, cashing in on the sensibilities of people, right? Who can clearly see the left, they can clearly see this communist takeover, they can clearly see all this socialism being brought in. They can see the wickedness, the destruction of morality, the destruction of the family unit, the rise of homosexuality, pedophilia, right? Of just sexual degeneration in general, through art and TV and music, right? And all in education and all facets of our society, we can see the degeneration of. So it's easy, if you have any scruples about you, to pinpoint what is wicked and what is satanic. But yet QAnon, it appeals to all of those moral sensibilities, even to the point where they appeal to most Christians, a lot of patriotic Christians, a lot of First, Second Amendment Christians. This whole idea of nationalism, that they're going to overthrow this cabal. Meanwhile, they don't tell you who the cabal is. They don't even talk about Zionism and what it truly is. I mean, you can't talk about communism without talking about Zionism. Likewise, you can't talk about nationalism without talking about Zionism. Okay? Communism. The state is God. Worldwide communism. The state is God. Who is the state? Revelation says that the kings of the earth will give their power to rule for 1 hour with the beast. Right? It says that the kings of the earth hate the whore and will destroy her and burn her with fire. In order to unshackle the beast, so the beast can rise up and take control. And who do they give power to? To the beast. They give their power to the beast. So is nationalism and communism any different? They're both working for the same end, to empower the beast, to weaken the nations, to destroy the whore. Okay? Who's the whore? Well, who sits atop of many waters? Who says I am a queen and will see no sorrow? America. Wow. Can't just be America. Well, no, it's not just America, but America is a world empire. America is of the world empires of the past. It is the eighth and is of the seven. When you look at Rome as being the final world empire, well, what ended up coming as a result of the dissolving of the Roman Empire? Again, you've got religious Rome, right? And then how that spread off into the world and empowered other monarchs and whatnot, right? And then you can even go as far as talking about the British Empire. The British Empire being a mere extension of the Roman Empire, okay? And from the British Empire, okay, well then what became the main empire? The United States, okay? And did the United States actually ever leave the British Empire? Well, they called it a republic, right? It's built, the builders, okay, of Washington, D.C., I mean, my goodness, just look at all the clues they left for everybody, right? And who their actual allegiance was to, okay? It wasn't to God. It wasn't to Jesus Christ, led by the Holy Spirit, no. They were a republic, just like the pagan republic of Rome. In fact, if you go in, if you just look at any footage from the Congress, right, or the Senate, or whatever it is in the States, where it has them all sitting up there, where Nancy Pelosi and all them sit, and you look behind them, what do they have behind them on either side? They have the pillar with the cord, the rope, with the axe, the fasci symbol. Okay, where's that originate from? Rome. Roman rule. Roman order. So did the Roman Empire ever die? No, it didn't. But it split off. Okay? And it became other nations. Right? It even became a religion. Okay? The Holy Roman Empire. So, is that the legs? Right? Just think about it. And then again, the feet have 10 toes. And the feet and the toes, they were mixed with miry clay. Okay? Now listen, I can't give a perfect explanation of that whole thing, but jumpins', folks. There's all roads lead to Rome, right? All roads lead to Rome. But there's going to be a final empire, okay, that destroys all of those empires that came before it, okay? But also is of those empires. So that means that it was born out of those empires. It's stylized after all of those empires, the finer parts of all those empires. I want you to think about that. The World Council of Churches, the World Council of Religions, okay, they all seek to bring the world under the umbrella of a world religion, under a united global governmental order. Right? And who wants to rule that? Who wants to be the state that officially rules that? I mean, the third temple that they want to rebuild, that they will rebuild, okay? What do they always say? It's going to be a temple unto the nations. Right? It's going to be a temple unto the nations. Is it just about Judaism? No, it's not just about Judaism, guys. It's not just about Judaism. Zionism, okay? The synagogue of Satan are those that say they are Jews and are not, but do lie, okay? Also those who say that they are the sons of God, but are really the sons of Satan. Okay? That also applies to people that are of the church. Okay? Not the true body of Christ, but the institution. Those that are in the flesh. Okay? Not part of the spiritual kingdom. We have to understand this, okay? That is why we choose Jesus Christ over the institution of the church. That is why we choose Jesus Christ over Judaism, over Zionism, over Q-Anon.
You have arrived.
Okay? They are all dead ends that lead to death. Spiritual death. The second death. What does it say in Daniel about the legs of iron? Right? I mean, clearly it's Rome. Now, is it Rome split off religiously as Rome and Orthodox? Is it Rome and Protestantism? Is it Rome on one side of the ocean and Rome on the other side, the two legs? You got the 10 toes that are mingled with clay, right, for the feet. A mingling with the flesh, a mingling with the wicked, those that do not go together, they are mingling together to make up the feet. The final empire that is the strongest and break the others to pieces, but yet is the weakest as being the iron mixed with the clay, meaning it won't hold together. But there's 10 toes. There's 10 kings, 10 kingdoms that give their power to the beast. So, is it going to be that it's worldwide communism? Or is it going to be a nationalistic fervor that takes place over the whole world? It doesn't really matter, does it? Because they're all going to give their power to the beast. America is riding the beast, okay? And it's propping up the beast. But eventually, it will be destroyed. And eventually, God will truly overthrow it. Right? Because the kings of the earth are destroying it with fire. They are destroying it because they hate it. Meanwhile, they're still making money off of it. Okay? One day, God is going to destroy Babylon, and all these kings that were also burning this whore, they're going to be weeping and wailing for its destruction because now they have no way of becoming rich. Right? They have nobody to trade their goods with. So although they despised it, they also seek to destroy it. No, they seek to destroy it. They seek to bleed it dry. And what does Q-Anon do? Q-Anon pushes the cabal, the secret cabal. But it doesn't talk about Zionism. Zionism, the state. Okay? The state. And if Bolshevik Jews, Zionists, brought about communism, and yet Q is for Zionism, the Zionist state of Israel, then can we not conclude that they are all in cahoots together? And this whole idea of nationalism that is happening, it's just that people are basically choosing whether they're going to go with worldwide communism or nationalism worldwide. At the end of the day, guys, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's easy to point the finger at communism, But you need to point the finger back at nationalism. Because all of the wars and rumors of wars and earthquakes in diverse places and pestilences and famines, right? All this stuff is going to happen either way. So either way, there is going to be a push for a one world government. And all of the governments of the world are going to give their power onto one state, the beast, and his system. So Q is a LARP, okay? It's a place for people to shill people out of money, but also to carry a deception that this nationalistic movement is not the same as this communist world order. I know people don't like it, but Hitler was a National Socialist. Well, how do you implement communism but by socialism? Well, he was a nationalist. Okay, he was a nationalist. Communists are technically nationalists too, because it's all about the state. Who rules the state? What's the nation state? Okay? Nation state. It means that everybody works for the greater good of the nation state. Communism. Everybody works for the greater good of the state. The state is God. Nation state. All power and authority go to the station state, guys. And the state are the same thing. We're not going to get back. You say, well, it's not what it was like back in the day. Well, we're not going to get back to that point because people are not in the same place, okay? Morally, okay? People are not in the same place morally. So you can't give power to each individual state because you get such division in each individual state. You get such division over the whole country. Okay? The only way out of this is for one side or the other to kill the other side. To destroy the other side. Because look, you can't arrest everybody. What are you going to do with all these people? No, we're going to put them to work. You can't do it. There's so many people on both sides of this thing. The only way is by a civil war. Now, I'm not promoting it, but realistically, that is the only way. Realistically, that's the only way, guys. You can't say, so-and-so needs to resign from their position because they're corrupt. Yeah, they're going to do that, eh? They're just going to resign. So-and-so needs to go for jail because they're bad. Yeah, they're just going to send them to jail without a long, drawn-out process where by the end of it, everybody forgets about it and they get a little slap on the wrist and do some time at Club Med. Right? Like, are you kidding? No. The only way out of this, guys, is through a complete purging. I mean, that's what it is. Like, when the second seal is open, guys, okay? The first seal, there's a white horse that goes out conquering and to conquer. Well, has that been broken? Is it already happened? Is it already taking place? The white horse is probably already going out and doing his work behind the scenes. He has a bow. Okay, he's got a bow that saying that he's doing his work from afar. And then when the red horse is released, well, that's when stuff really starts happening. And when the red horse is released, okay, that's going to appear as though, well, we're in the time of Jacob's trouble. We're in the time of the tribulation, right? Because everybody's killing one another, okay? And we need someone to save us from all of this, right? And there's going to be forces that are going to be at work, okay? And they're going to say that this is the end times and, you know, Jesus is about to return, okay? But that's not the case. Like, guys, the 4 horsemen that get released, okay, and the lead up to the mark of the beast, that in itself is going to appear as if it's the Great Tribulation, okay? And that the end result of the 4 horsemen is the Antichrist issuing his mark, okay? Stepping on the stage, taking control of the scene, right? Cleaning house, making some drastic rules and new ways to govern, right? That in itself is going to be something that nobody alive today has ever seen, okay? And quite possibly will seem like it's the tribulation, will seem like it's the end of days. And in fact, it'll seem so much like the end of days that there's going to be a religious leader, a false prophet, that will also arise and will do great works in the sight of men, even to the point of bringing fire down from heaven and convincing people that this is the time, and then he's going to give his, swear his allegiance and tell the people to swear their allegiance to this rising leader. Okay? So I want you to think about this. Think about Albert Pike's 3 World War plan. Okay? This Cold War, we've been in the Cold War. It never ended with the Soviet Union, right? Communism never ended with the Soviet Union. It's continued to infiltrate us because it didn't just come out of Russia. It didn't just come out of the Soviet Union. Communism is all over the place, and there's communists from everywhere. So this whole idea that nationalists are going to battle communists, right? Christianity versus Islam. Or actually, no, sorry, not Christianity. It's going to be Zionism versus Islam, right? We see all of these players moving into place, right? The destroyers of civilization versus those with high moral value, okay? And all of these people, at the end of all of this calamity, at the end of all of this destruction, are going to come together under the true light of Lucifer, which is not Jesus Christ, but will be the Antichrist, because again, it's going to be a false light. And as these things come upon the earth, right, people are going to, I mean, everybody's gonna want stuff to go back to normal, right? People are gonna be so disenfranchised that, again, when the beast steps onto the scene, right, he's gonna talk like a lamb, he's going to look like a lamb, he's going to speak like a dragon. He's going to be everything that the world wants. And the only people who are going to recognize him for who he is are those that have themselves wrapped in the Holy Spirit, okay? That are grounded in the Word, okay? That are covered by the blood of Jesus Christ. Those who are written in the book of life. Okay? It's all going to be a solution to the problem. And we can't see it exactly yet. All that we can see right now is what we can currently see. But this is just part of it. It's what's going to rise after this. Okay? America is Babylon the Great. Okay? But Babylon the Great is not the beast system. It's not the place where the beast has his throne, where Satan has his seat. Okay? It's not. The New World Order is a lot more clever than left-right paradigm, okay? Than nationalism versus communism, okay? There's a lot more to it, guys. So don't fall for Q-Elon just because it sounds better than communism, okay? It's all just another head that's on the backside of the same coin. That's it for 8 Branston.